Well, good night and welcome to Drive Time. Subject of the day came up over the weekend. I was chatting with some people about business, and they were all about what they wanted to achieve more. They wanted to earn more, they wanted to make more money, and it wasn't just their business they wanted to make more in. It was like, all areas. And I'm sitting there going, well, okay, so what have you done to get there? And they started telling me what they've done. And I said, well, hang on. That's not really what I mean. My question is, if you're going to do that, how have you learned? Who have you studied? What have you studied in order to do that? Because if you want to double your business, it's not that hard to understand. If you want to double your business, you've actually got to increase your knowledge. You can't just magically, if you look at the formula, and let's go through the formula and understanding of it, but the simplest statement that I can make to you about earning more, whether it's in your own business or in a job or in any scenario, is that if you want to earn more, you got to learn more. You have to learn before you earn. There's no other way around it. There's no magical formula other than you have to learn this stuff. And if you don't learn it, don't expect to earn it. If the most you've ever, if you've never learned to make more than 20 grand a year or 50 grand a year or 100 or $1 million a year, whatever you've learned is the capacity of your earning. So there is no other way to put it other than that. So let's look at where you can learn and how you can learn faster, okay? The speed of your learning really determines the speed of your increased earnings, okay? There's no other way to put it other than that an increased earning capacity comes from an increased learning capacity. So how are you speeding your learning? Like, for instance, okay, if we understand the formula for success, it's not a complex one. It's dream, goal, learn, plan, act. Develop your dreams. Dreams turn into goals. Goals, the thing that you take from your goals is, what do I have to learn? Oh, thanks for typing in where you're at, everybody. Appreciate that. Good to see we've reached, we're in the Middle East. We're in U.S. Where else are we? Type in where you're at so I make sure I know where we're reaching today. But the philosophy is not lost. If you have a goal or a dream, you need to put the study into place before you build the plan, okay? Build the plan based on the study. If you don't do new study, then your plan basically says, do what I did before, which gets you the same results as you got before. It's not a complex thing. Most of what I teach, as you know, is not complex. By the way, if you're enjoying these drive times, give me a shout out. Let me know you're enjoying them and what you're enjoying about them. And if you're really enjoying them, make sure, if you keep coming back to Drive Time, make sure you get on 30X, okay? Get on the 30X program before we go back to the pre-pandemic pricing. It goes back to normal pricing very soon, so jump on that now. Okay, so how do you learn and how do you speed up your learning? Let's think about it from that perspective, okay? What is the slowest format of learning? The slowest format of learning is trial and error, just doing stuff and not learning from anything, okay? If you're just doing it and learning on your own, that's the slowest format of learning. So the next level of learning is where you get into actually doing some reading, okay? Reading some things, learning from some of the reading that you're doing, that sort of thing. But again, reading's not a speed way to get your knowledge. I know for me, I remember being 16 years old and Jim Rohn telling me, hey, you got to read a book a week for the rest of your life. And so I've stayed with that mantra or that thought, a book a week. Now it's easy. I just turn on Audible and they're read to me. Which, by the way, the books that we've just rewritten, Instant Cash Flow is being rewritten as the Apprentice Billionaire's Guide to Cash Flow, the Apprentice Billionaire's Guide to Profit. All of those are currently in recording. And no, I'm not reading them. Someone else is going to do that for me. But they're all going to be on Audible again in about 4 to 5 weeks. So if you're looking for those, definitely there. So if you sit down and say, okay, reading is good, but what is faster than reading? What is a faster methodology? Obviously, faster is learning by video, okay? These sorts of things where you're taking the lesson in, so you're getting short, sharp bursts. That's why I made 30X, 30 minutes a day for 30 days, okay? So when we think about 30X, 30 minutes a day of learning, if you're learning from and this is where the videos change, okay? If you're learning from a master, then you'll speed learn through. If you're learning from someone who's only 1 or 2 steps ahead of you, then it's slow learning. And you can see that if you go and look at some of the videos or some of the training you've been to where that you knew the person knew more than you, but not a lot more than you, then the speed of learning is okay, but it's not massive. If you go to an absolute master, then your speed of learning is massive. So that's why when I put up my master mentors on different social channels, I go to some of the most amazing mentors ever. Reverend Ike on the subject of money, Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn. These are some of the masters of a subject. So listening to the masters is very important. But then if you want to go to the fastest methodology of learning, the fastest methodology of learning is you actually having a mentor, you having a coach or someone that works with you every week, coaches you through and keeps you at that highest peak level of learning. So you can choose your speed of learning, okay? The fact that you have to learn is not arguable. The fact that if you want to earn more, you've got to learn more, that's something that we cannot argue with. That is a fundamental core tried and true principle that is true in all cases. You're not going to earn more unless you learn more, because you're not going to change. And for you to make more money, you've got to change something, okay? You got to stop doing certain things and start doing other things. So ultimately, you want to earn more, you got to learn more. You want to learn faster, find the absolute masters of what your subject is that you want to learn and study the absolute masters of what it is. Work with a coach or a mentor. But learning more is the inherent thing to a better life. And even if it's just, let's say you want to learn more about happiness, great. Read some books on happiness. I remember when I read one of my early mentors, Patty Lund. He wrote Building the Happiness-Centered Business. It was like, why are you reading a book on how to have a happy business? Well, I work here 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Well, back in those days I did. I kind of wanted it to be a happy time for me and a happy time for my staff, So keep the learning up and your earning will increase. You want to be earning twice as much a year from now? Then read twice as much as you're doing already, or twice as many books as you have in the past. Keep the learning up and everything else will take care of itself. All right, what's your biggest lesson today? Type it in right now. What is your biggest lesson today? Go back and rewatch this thing if you need to get that biggest lesson. And share this with all your friends and your colleagues that you know need to understand this lesson. Take care. Bye for now. See you on the next drive.